Hello and welcome to Embrace Event-Driven Integration with SAP. My name is Carsten Struppmann. I'm a lead product manager for surprise, surprise, event-driven integration at SAP in Walldorf. And well, today I would like to give you an overview of SAP's technical event-driven ecosystem to explain to you how you can use SAP event sources, to walk you through some use cases, and last but not least, wrap up things with a quick mini demo. And well, let's get started. And I would like to get started with a look at an animal, at a sea animal actually, an octopus. Why? Because it's a very interesting animal. It has 8 arms and 9 brains. Might be that a lot of you didn't know that before. The octopus has a main brain and 8 satellite brains. And actually the main part of the knowledge of that octopus is spread throughout the arms. These satellite brains communicate to the main brain and they communicate to each other. So if the octopus is moving, that's typically the job of the satellite brains. So the main brain tells the satellite brains that they're supposed to move, and then the satellite brains take over the job. If the octopus is looking for food, it's basically the arms doing the job. And if the arms find food, then they raise something similar to an event. We could name it octopus arm 3 food found. And then the main brain, reacts on those events. It does remind me, and probably you as well, a lot of an event-driven architecture, an event mesh actually, the nervous system of the enterprise. And that's really what it is. If you look to the right-hand side, where I have organized some of SAP's backend systems, business applications, some third-party components as well. You could replace third-party with Kafka or with Salesforce, for example. And I've organized that to look a little bit like an octopus, because what we're doing at SAP in respect to our event-driven architecture, we're building a nervous system of the enterprise based on SAP Integration Suite Advanced Event Mesh, our flagship event program. The backend systems that you see in there, S4HANA, S4 Cloud, S4HANA Cloud, SuccessFactors, SAP ECC, they are event-enabled as well. So we'll see that later on. Now, in the next step, let's quickly look at a number of event-driven use cases. And well, this technology is already getting quite mature. We're having lots and lots of customers that have started small, that are now growing and addressing bigger and more sophisticated scenarios using event-driven architecture. Let's have a look at a few examples here on the left-hand side. Price distribution I would like to start with. There are retailers that send their price updates out immediately in real time across the globe in completely global setup, and the updates reach the stores, the price updates are done, and then the next steps in those stores can be taken. S4HANA extensions. SAP S4HANA covers a lot of business processes. Sometimes our customers like to do small adjustments. In a lot of cases, that's possible doing key user extensibility on the S4HANA side. Nevertheless, in some cases, you need more. Then you can build extensions on the SAP Business Technology Platform. And these extensions, you can connect in an event-driven, real-time, loosely coupled way to the S4HANA system. So the sales order gets created in S4HANA. The extension application immediately gets updated of that and in respect to that and can react. Digital twin, that's actually a scenario SAP itself has been live with for more than 2 years. and we're having digital twins for our company cars. So whenever you charge your car or you get gas or a repair takes place, immediately the digital twin of the company car is informed of that significant change of that event in real time. And the digital twin completely mirrors the actual company car. SAP IT is taking next steps there. They are addressing more and more scenarios. And this has been a huge success inside of SAP as well. Medication delivery and tracking, that's a use case I like a lot because you really see the value in it. A lot of pharmaceutical companies have the issue that they, first of all, need to optimize their delivery processes for the medication. On top of that, the medication needs to always stay cold or fulfill certain criteria during that, or certain criteria during the delivery process need to be fulfilled. And this is, in this case, being done using an event-driven architecture. In this case, in this specific use case, we're talking about 32 different events that are sent to, first of all, prove that the medication was always cold enough, that the delivery took place in time, because there are time boundaries as well. So all of that has to happen in maximum 72 hours. And yeah, that the delivery process was proper and smooth. This has been live for a while as well, and SAP offers a standard solution that goes into that direction as well. Master data distribution is a common scenario. So you have a leading S4 system, you have other ECC systems, so older ERP systems, you do have other S4 systems, and then you do have HR systems in the picture, and then you can distribute the master data in an event-driven way to all of those consumers. So very different use cases that are getting addressed using event-driven architecture, event-driven business architecture in SAP's context. Let's quickly switch to the bigger use case there on the right. It's a Belgian customer named Ferris, and they are in the water business, basically. So they have this huge network across all of Belgium, operating water pipes, doing water management, and so on. And they have implemented a use case that I really, really like. Why do I like it that much? Because first of all, it brings together IoT and business processes, business scenarios. And they do that in a very efficient way. On top of that, it uses both Advanced Event Mesh and SAP Integration Suite as the power couple. As a result, leak detection, for example, before it was done on a yearly basis, and now it's done on a daily basis. So if any pipe leaks or it loses water, if there's a leak in any pipe, Ferris immediately discovers that. So the 360, 50 times. I like that a lot because it really explains the value of real time. That is more like something that is sensor-based, right? So this is not necessarily based on a business process. If you look at the lower number here, 1 day, this is completely business. So the lead time for annual invoice generation has come down from weeks to 1 day. Overall, it's 30% cost reduction potential right there. So it optimizes business processes, and on top of that, you do get money out. You save money, you do have a cost reduction there. So it's really EDA bringing in process optimizations, real-time flexibility, loose coupling, and at the same time optimizing the business side. Let's look at SAP's technical EDA ecosystem and our strategy. And let's start at the bottom of this. What do you see here? SAP Integration Suite Advanced Event Mesh. It's our flagship event broker. I recommend every single customer starting with EDA at SAP to have a look at Advanced Event Mesh first, because it really offers a lot of sophisticated features, and it does scale from the smallest scenarios to ultra large scenarios. So in the end, that's the go-to broker. You can run it in the cloud, you can deploy it on-premise, and. It works very well in combination with SAP Integration Suite. So Advanced Event Mesh and SAP Integration Suite form a power couple right there. And they do that in respect to mediation and orchestration. So you can use the services of SAP Integration Suite to mediate the events, to add additional fields, to potentially adjust the topics, and so on. On top of that, SAP Integration Suite already comes with a smaller broker, Event Mesh and SAP Integration Suite. That's SAP Starter Broker. So customers that want to learn about event-driven architectures, that are curious about event-driven architecture, can start with Event Mesh in SAP Integration Suite. It's a shared infrastructure behind the scenes. It's a very focused broker. The hurdle to get started is low. Then later on, we do support migration and we will provide a bridge to Advanced Event Mesh. So the path is quite clear. You start with the Event Mesh and Integration Suite, you learn, you will at some point in time have enough experience, you have a lot of use cases that you want to address in your company, and then you will migrate to Advanced Event Mesh. Now, let's look at the upper part of this slide. Obviously, Advanced Event Mesh allows to connect to third-party cloud applications. On top of that, SAP cloud applications, S/4HANA Cloud, the Business Technology Platform, SuccessFactors, allow connectivity to Advanced Event Mesh as well. So you can use both inbound and outbound events from S4 Cloud applications with Advanced Event Mesh right there. And you see a component named SAP Cloud Application Event Hub. This is basically a gateway to SAP Cloud applications, and it allows you to simply set up one connection. And this one connection to Cloud Application Event Hub allows you to receive all SAP Cloud events. Then on the top right, you see SAP S/4HANA, you see SAP ECC, you see third-party applications. So using different approaches, you can use S4 and ECC as event sources in respect to on-premise and private landscape. And let's look at how that works. This is basically an overview of the main SAP event sources. Let's start on the left-hand side with an older backend with SAP ECC there. And there, using two technologies, you can create custom events. So you can either use the SAP Application Interface Framework that is included with Advanced Event Mesh, or you can use the add-on provided by Asapio, by our partner Asapio, to create custom events as well. And from ECC, as said, older backend, you can pass these events on into Advanced Event Mesh. Then there is SAP S/4HANA. S/4HANA comes with 600 plus native events. Those are standard events. Important for ECC, for ERP, those are custom events. There are no standard events. With S4, there are a lot of standard events. You can adjust those standard events, or most of those at this point in time. In future, it will be all. You can create custom events. You do that using the RAP-based, the ABAP RESTful Application Programming Model approach. And this allows for inbound and outbound events. On top of that, you can use the SAP Application Interface Framework to create custom events and expose those to Advanced Event Mesh. Important point here, the native events you can use from the 2022 version onward. On top of that, the Asapio add-on is another option. In respect to S/4HANA Cloud, RAP-based events are the way to go. So there, you again have the 600 plus native standard events. You can extend them. You can create custom events. Those are then exposed to advanced event mesh. And as I said, it's a web-based approach, SAP's most modern approach in respect to creating and exposing events. And you can use that with S4 Cloud. Then there is SAP SuccessFactors. Here, so far, you have been using intelligent service events to expose events to advanced event mesh. Now we're going to use the Event Hub, the Cloud Application Event Hub, to expose a different kind of events. The SuccessFactors colleagues are working on a new eventing approach that is going to scale better, that will follow cloud events format and that will be exposed via SAP Cloud Application Event Hub. Once again, to emphasize that this is basically a gateway to SAP Cloud applications. You simply connect that to advanced event mesh, and behind the scenes, the events get exposed to Event Hub, and you can access them for advanced event mesh. Let's have a very quick look at the two offerings that we provide. So Event Mesh and Integration Suite, it's the starter offering for people that want to learn about event-driven architecture. It has a feature focus set, a shared infrastructure. There's certain limits to EMIS, as I usually call it, in respect to event size, in respect to throughput, and so on. So it's for notification events and to a limited amount of data events it's geared. The clear goal is that you really learn to like event-driven architectures and then migrate to advanced event mesh. So it's great for basic and isolated small to medium use cases. Important point here, it's an event broker. It's no network of events, no event mesh. Then on the right-hand side, the go-to offering, the flagship offering, Integration Suite Advanced Event Mesh, almost no scale limits, very sophisticated features. The platform includes the event portal. It includes insights, distributed tracing. The deployment options are already included, so public and private and so on. You can start small with smaller brokers. You can scale to extremely large event meshes, and it's future ready for AI and for amply initiated EDA. So it's great for all EDA use cases and for a distributed EDA right there. Now, what I would like to do is to show you a quick mini demo. And with that, let me switch over. What you see here is advanced event mesh, and you see a mesh between a broker based on deployed on Google Cloud in the United States, another one based or deployed on AWS in Europe, and another one in Azure in Asia. I guess you know the design if you've been working with Solus PubSub. So this is the blue version here with additional features because it does connect directly to our SAP backend. So there's direct connectivity there. Let me just very quickly give you a few impressions here. So spinning up additional brokers would look like this. Insights part is included and so you can select the cloud. So just a very, very quick overview in respect to advanced event mesh here. And I think we can go to the main page so that you can see what this looks like as well. There's a portal part included, mission control, insights part with Datadog included as well. Now, let's switch over to the event source side of things. And here, what you can see is the Business Accelerator Hub, hub.sap.com. And you do see a number of event packages here. So there are packages for S/4HANA Cloud for business events, so 142 event objects and a lot more events there. Subscription billing, marketing cloud, cell and gene therapy orchestration, and digital vehicle hub. And there are additional packages. If you go over to individual events, we could simply look for sales order events, for example, and go in and you see the available events here: sales order created, changed, deleted, sales order item created, and. If I go into the references, I can look into the payload. You can see the payload of the events. You can see the headers. So basically, Business Accelerator Hub allows you to look up available standard events. And switching over to an S/4HANA cloud system, what you see here are standard events getting exposed. So I'm exposing 3 kinds of events right now: business partner event, product exclusion events, sales order events. If I would like to add additional ones, let's quickly do that. I go in, I basically select, I will just pick a random one. Let's go for project demand. Let's click on create. Let's quickly go back, and that's it. You can see project demand created is now getting exposed as well from the S/4HANA system. With that said, let's switch back to the presentation. And let's look at some roadmap highlights and the directions. So what are we doing? Where are we heading? Connection and migration. Let's start on the left. I think it came across that I see some customers still starting with Event Mesh and Integration Suite to learn about EDA. It's quite clear that we need to offer a migration path to Advanced Event Mesh, because the expectation is that they will like event-driven architectures like we all do, and that they will grow from there. So Advanced Event Mesh is the go-to solution. So easy migration will be provided. And that's the main focus. On top of that, we will allow to make Event Mesh and Integration Suite the first node of an Advanced Event Mesh as well. Then, and that's a request that comes from a number of SAP customers, we will integrate monitoring, for example, in SAP standard tooling. So Cloud Application Lifecycle Monitoring. So we're going to include the health monitoring. I think it's the first step, and then there will be more into the standard tool by SAP named Calm. End-to-end visibility is another big one. And I had been mentioning that before, distributed tracing is included with Advanced Event Mesh. Currently, it does not include S/4HANA. What we really want is to allow distributed tracing from our backends all the way to the event consumer. And this is one thing that we're targeting. Give us a little bit more time for that. So I would not expect it before the second half of 2025 earliest. Nevertheless, we're working on that. And a very important point: developer hub for APIs and events. In Q1 2025, events will be included in SAP's developer hub that will allow you to basically inform your workforce, the people that need access to events, about the events that are available in your company. And it's going to be APIs and events in combination there. And I think you've seen that there's already a lot of events there that SAP is exposing. We're obviously working on more. So there will be more events. And the important point is extensible events. We want our events to be adjustable and extensible, and the S4 colleagues are strongly focusing on that already. If you want to look into things a little bit more, there's a great learning journey for Advanced Event Mesh. There's a code jam on event-driven integration that I like a lot. And then there's Discovery Center, SAP Discovery Center, that gives you background on Advanced Event Mesh, and obviously a lot of documentation. And with that said, thank you very much. I enjoyed this session. It was lots of fun. And yeah, if there are any questions, always feel free to reach out to me. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.